What's going on, guys? I recently stumbled upon some of the 2021 NFL mock drafts, and when I was looking at quarterbacks, I noticed there was a guy who I'd never even heard of being projected as a first-round pick. In today's video, we'll be talking about North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance and how this kid could be the number one overall pick in next year's NFL draft. Yes, I know about Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, but this is the kind of buzz this kid is generating amongst NFL scouts. As college football fans, we all know about North Dakota State football and how they are an FCS powerhouse, but outside of Carson Wentz, I'd be willing to bet that none of you can even name another North Dakota State player in the NFL. Trey Lance will be a redshirt sophomore this upcoming fall, and he is receiving tons of hype after becoming the first freshman in FCS football history to win the Peyton Award while also becoming the FCS Football Player of the Year. He also threw for 28 touchdowns and no interceptions in his first season as a starter. How did this dude slip through the cracks, you may be wondering? If you can't believe that, then you won't believe how crazy his journey was to get there. Before we get started, I want to quickly ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 2.1k subscribers by the end of May, and I really need your help. Plus, you won't want to miss out on any more of my college football content that I have planned for this summer. Now let's get started with the rise of Trey Lance. Let's back it up in time a little bit, more specifically to the year 2000, when Trey was born in the town of Marshall, Minnesota. He was born an athlete as his father was a football star at Southwest Minnesota State, and he apparently always had a ball in his hands growing up. Trey would go on to become a three-sport athlete once he got to Marshall High School. He was a track star and even became an all-conference basketball player, but that's not the sport we're going to be focusing on. In football, Trey started on both sides of the ball. On offense, he was the quarterback, while he played safety on defense. He quickly became a local legend, and by the time his senior year rolled around, he was starting to get recruited to play FBS level football. Despite receiving some high major interest, Lance and his father agreed that bigger isn't always better. After receiving offers from schools such as Western Michigan, Northern Illinois, and Air Force, Trey put his word to the test as he decided to commit to an FCS school in North Dakota State. North Dakota State was a team that consistently won national titles and sent players and coaches to the next level. The Bison sent their most recent head coach Chris Kleiman to the Kansas State, and quarterbacks Carson Wentz and Easton Stick to the NFL. As a recruit, Lance was listed as an athlete and a 3-star recruit. When he committed, he became the highest ranked recruit in program history and was expected to make a huge impact once he put on a Bison uniform. Real quick, if you guys are enjoying today's video, please be sure to take a moment and hit that like button. Going into Lance's freshman year, he decided to redshirt and get bigger and better. The Bison were under 5th-year head coach Chris Kleiman, and they were led by senior quarterback Easton Stick. They began the season ranked number 1 in the country and proceeded to stay number 1 the whole entire season, go undefeated, and win their 6th national title in 7 years. After the season, Kleiman left to take the head coaching job at Kansas State, and Easton Stick was drafted in the 5th round by the Los Angeles Chargers. Going into his redshirt freshman season, Lance was named the starter, and he had huge shoes to fill. In his first ever collegiate start, Trey proved he was the real deal as he put the college football world on notice. In his season opener against Butler, Lance completed 10 of his 11 passes for 185 yards and 4 touchdowns, but it doesn't end there. He also carried the ball for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trey broke almost every record imaginable in that game and already looked like he could be the most versatile quarterback in school history. Once again, the Bison began the season ranked number 1, and they won their first 7 games. Their 8th game was against number 3 South Dakota State, and it was so huge that College Game Day was there to cover it. The game was close, but Trey made a name for himself, and the Bison won in a thriller. From there, they went all the way to the FCS championship game, where they survived a close game against number 2 James Madison in a 2017 rematch for the national title. Trey wasn't spectacular every game, but he was the FCS Player of the Year and became the first freshman to ever win the Peyton Award after throwing for 2,786 yards, 28 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He also rushed for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns while averaging over 6 yards a carry. Now that the 2020 draft is done and over with, NFL scouts are currently drooling over Lance as a player, and since he's a redshirt sophomore, he'll be eligible for the 2021 NFL draft. Scouts are in love with his athleticism, size, college production, versatility, high IQ, and his incredible efficiency. As I've been reading more about him, I'm finding that most mock drafts have him as a consensus first-round pick and the 3rd best quarterback in the class. Of course, he's behind the likes of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, but some scouts believe Lance is the 4th best player in the entire draft and could potentially give Fields and Lawrence a run for their money. I doubt it'll end up happening, but maybe people will start saying tank for Trey instead of tank for Trevor. Overall, it is truly crazy that I've never heard of this kid before, despite the endless hours I spend reading and watching college football. But either way, this kid seems like the real deal, and no matter what, it looks like he'll be the 3rd straight quarterback drafted out of North Dakota State, which is truly remarkable in itself. Please let me know what you guys think of Lance down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a like, as it will be truly appreciated and it will also help my channel grow. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and help me to reach my 2.1k subscriber goal by the end of May. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and if you're still here, be sure to check out all these other videos that I put on the screen for you. Until then, peace.